This cute owl is probably a drawing by Ryokan. And Ryokan is a Japanese poet, born 1758. This is part 9. Here's the owl again. Isn't he cute? He says, when the autumn leaves fall, does this fellow too feel lonely? Now he's wondering if the owl feels lonely. I don't know. It's hard to say. He does maybe artwork and calligraphy. I don't know. I don't know if he's considered an artist. Well, he is a poet. Anyways, and a calligrapher. When I think about the misery of those in this world, their sadness becomes mine. Oh, that my monk's robe were wide enough to gather up all the suffering people in this floating world. Nothing makes me more happy than Amida Buddha's vow to save everyone. If you are not put off by the voice of the valley and the starry peaks, why not walk through the shady cedars and come see me? At dusk come to my hut. The crickets will serenade you, and I will introduce you to the moonlit woods. He's like Segyo. He wants visitors. He lives in the hut. I suppose you would look for a visitor if you're living alone in the woods. Did you think that Thoreau had some visitors? I think he did have some, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He had a visitors, probably, even if they're animals. But anyways, we go on to a visitor. Listen to the cicadas in tree tops near the waterfall. See how last night's rains have washed away all grime. Needless to say, my hut is as empty as can be, but I can offer you a window full of the most intoxicating air. He's offering his guest air. He probably.
Today it would be appreciated. Look at that today.
You could say, come have some fresh air, and
He knew the value of the air, which we didn't.
you can have some air if you come to my place. Yeah, probably very good air. Imagine the mountains of Japan. For my visitors, deep in the woods, holed up for the winter, an old fellow like me who will be the first to visit. Who will be the first to visit? I knew it would be you. Turning a lull in the rain, I picked some wild parsley for you to enjoy during your visit. How heartless for the snowflakes not to fall. On the day of your esteemed visit, wait for moonlight before you go. The mountain trail is thick with chestnut burrs. He wanted the snowflakes to fall, and he picked wild parsley. What's he making with the wild parsley? Then he says, reply to a friend's letter. Your snowy village is not so far from here. Your smoky village is not so far from here. But icy rain kept me captive all morning. Just yesterday, it seems, we passed an evening together discussing poetry. But it's really been 20 wind-blown days. I've begun to copy the text you lent me, fretting how weak I've become. This letter seals my promise to take my staff and make my way through the steep cliffs as soon as the sun melts the ice along the mossy path. He's just saying he'll come when the weather gets better. And he's still copying the poetry. My precepts. These are his precepts. Take care not to 1. Talk too much. Talk too fast. Talk without being asked to. Talk gratuitously. Talk with your hands. Talk about worldly affairs. Talk back rudely. Argue. Smile condescendingly at others' words. Yeah, you have to not be condescending.
What is that? You do that.
I do it. Condescending and smile condescendingly.
You laugh at this thing.
I laugh condescendingly. Then I have to not condescend in thought. Use elegant expressions. Boast. Avoid speaking directly. Speak with a knowing air. Jump from topic to topic. Use fancy words. Speak of past events that cannot be changed. Speak like a pedant. Avoid direct questions.
So all those things you shouldn't do, right?
Speak ill of others. Speak grandly of enlightenment. Whoa, grand enlightenment. Carry on while drunk. Speak in an obnoxious manner. Yell at children. Make up fantastic stories. Speak while angry. Name drop. Ignore the people to whom you are speaking. Speak sanctimoniously of gods and Buddhas. Use sugary speech. Use flattering speech. Speak of things of which you have no knowledge. Monopolize the conversation. Talk about others behind their backs. Speak with conceit. Badmouth others. Chant prayers ostentatiously. Complain about the amount of alms. Give long-winded sermons. Speak affectedly like an artist. Speak affectedly like a tea master. Well, it's quite a few precepts here.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear them again?
No.
We're going to have to go over them again.
No, not today.
Don't demand that you have to go over things again. All right, but those are quite a nice list. I like them.
Any fun?
What? Any more poems?
Very few poems.
Poems? Well, I don't know if that's a poem. Well, I mean, I think it'd be
It's
a
not
poem.
a poem, but what are the poems?
Where are the poems? Geez, what's wrong with this thing? I have to get my phone to work. Well, it's his writing. You want a poem? That's a pretty good list, really. I mean, he's trying to improve himself, or he did already. Here he says, the I Ching states happiness lies in the proper blend of. I Ching being the Chinese thing, so he does read Chinese classics. He says, happiness lies in the proper blend. And you have like yin and yang, how you're supposed to blend everything perfectly. Balance. He says, hot and cold, good and bad, black and white, beautiful and ugly. You have to have the proper blend of these two things. Large and small, wisdom and foolishness.
Not true. So you have to have love and hate.
You have to have a blend.
So you have to hate somebody.
Didn't say hate here.
It
said hot and cold, dear.
Yeah, but he tends all the opposites. So love and
beautiful
hate
and ugly.
Yeah,
White and black. He didn't say hate. He said.
He puts all the opposites.
Yeah, but life
black
is.
And white.
There's.
Why not life and death? Why not love and hate?
Love and hate. Well, the I Ching, dear, is talking about The I Ching states this.
Or maybe even that works because hate for certain things and love for certain
Let's just. The prior precept said just listen to what it is.
things. You have to hate to kill a little, let's say a little bird. You have to, so you hate what it should be hated.
Yeah,
You love what it should be
his
loved.
precept said before, we're just going to listen to what he says here. He says the I Ching states happiness lies in the proper blend of.
No.
He's saying this, the I Ching says it. So let's see what the I Ching says. Hot and cold, good and bad, black and white,
Don't read like that.
beautiful and ugly, large and small, wisdom and foolishness, long and short, brightness and darkness, high and low, partial and whole, relaxation and quickness, increase and decrease, purity and filth, slow and fast. He didn't say love and hate.
That could be part of it.
I don't know if they're on the list here.
Should he? I think he likes to, he puts opposites together. So nothing goes without its opposite. So
Yeah, things are, it's like moderation. Everything comes.
Yeah, so if you mix them up and you're at the middle of everything.
The theory is that
balancing
in
out.
Taoism, the yin and yang, you have like, yin and yang
You
means
have a balance of things.
you're a balance of yin and yang.
You balance everything in life.
And then that's where he said that balance is where happiness lies.
That's what I know. That's where I put also love and hate also.
Yeah, but you don't want a balance of love and hate. You want all love.
No.
And they're not on the list. And he
So
said,
do you love to kill a bird?
didn't say kill a bird.
I know. I'm telling you, pick up something. That's something that you love. You love to eat a lady. So you must hate the killer.
Hate to kill.
Yeah. And then you love life.
All right. Well, I didn't understand. You're digressing. Let's go to Buddha's path. He says Buddha's path. This is the way he traveled to flee the world. This is the way he traveled to return to the world. I too come and go along this sacred path that bridges life and death and traverses illusion. The ancient Buddhas taught the Dharma, not for its own sake, but to assist us. If we really knew ourselves, we would not have to rely on old teachers. The wise go right to the core and leap beyond appearances. The foolish cleave to details and get ensnared by words and letters. Such people envy the accomplishments of others and work feverishly to attain the same things. Cling to truth and it becomes falsehood. Understand falsehood and it becomes truth. Truth and falsehood are two sides of a coin. Neither accept nor reject either one. Don't waste your precious time fruitlessly trying to gauge the depths of life's ups and downs. Reading section 9. That's what you were doing. We're going to have to go back to, dear, his precepts.
You're trying to analyze.
I'm not analyzing nothing. I'm reading. I'm the simple scribe who's just reading. I'm a robot. Here we read Buddha's path, we read the I Ching, and we read his precepts. Maybe those quite interesting lesson altogether. That means we have to read it over and over again. We're reading from Ryokan Dewdrops on a Lotus Leaf from John Stevens. Section 9 is completed.